Hi, welcome back. The last time that we did a math lesson was last week, and the new concept that we talked about was the +1 pattern. And we used our counters like this and some of the single counters, and we made a +1 pattern using our blue work mat. Then we took a couple days to review, and so I did not send you a video. I just put some worksheets in there for you to work on so that you would kind of be able to review writing the number 10 and counting objects, but there wasn't a new concept. But today we have another new concept, and it's kind of like the +1 pattern, except it's the opposite. When you have a +1 pattern, you start with 1, and then you get one more, and then you have 2. Then we start with 2, and we get one more, and then we have 3, and we keep going all the way up until we get to 10. But if you start at 10 and you take 1 away, then you have 9. If you start with 9 and you take 1 away, then you have 8. And so we're going to use our smarts today to build a -1 pattern using counters. And this time, instead of starting with 1, we're going to start with 10. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So we have 10. If I have 10 and I take 1 away, now I have 9. Remember, 5 plus 4 equals 9. 9 is 1 less than 10. If I start with 9 and I take 1 away, now I have 8. Remember, 5 plus 3 equals 8. If I start with 8 and I take 1 away, now I have 7. Remember, 5 plus 2 more equals 7. If I start with 7 and I take 1 away, now I have 6. Remember, 5 plus 1 equals 6. If I start with 6 and I take 1 away, now I have 5. That's an easy one. We just need a 5 group. Cool. If I start with 5 and I take 1 away, now I have 4. This pattern gets easier and easier. A -1 pattern is really easy and fun. If I start with 4, but I keep flipping them over. If I start with 4 and I take 1 away, now I have 3. If I start with 3 and I take 1 away, now I have 2. If I start with 2 and I take 1 away, now I have 1. Good job. And we could even go one more, couldn't we? If we have 1 and we take that away, now we have 0. Good job on that +1 pattern. How fun was that? The next thing that we get to do for this math job is we get to use our worksheet and some counters to help us. Well, I know that you don't have counters like the ones that we use at school at home, but you do have buttons or cereal or some little things that would fit in this box that you could find and put on that box. So I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and find 10 objects. Go ahead and pause if you need to. Find 10 objects that you can put in this box. And I'm just going to use my counters. I'm not going to use 5 groups this time because I want it to be a little bit easier to do the +1 pattern. Or the -1 pattern, I'm sorry, -1 pattern. When you are done with finding 10 objects, go ahead and put them in 2 5 groups, just like mine. I'm going to give you a second to get your set up. I'm so glad you could join me for this lesson. So fun. Go ahead and pause if you need more time, and if not, let's get going. So we have 10. We know that it's 10 because 5 plus 5 more equals 10. If we start with 10 and we take 1 away, now we have 9. Great job. So down here, you'll see next to the number 1 circle that we have 10 minus 1 equals 9. Good for you. We start with 9 and we take 1 away. How many do we have now? We have 8. Way to go. So 9 minus 1 equals 8. Great work. You know what? I'm going to let you do the rest of this on your own, and all you have to do is continue the pattern. You start with how many are there, and then you take 1 more away, and then you can fill in the next answer on the next equation. Have a great time exploring the -1 pattern. Next time, we'll talk about shrinking patterns.